So today's the day. I'm going to try and get this thing on the road. Got a couple of jobs I need to do before we do that though. So it is taxed, it is insured, I do have breakdown cover, so I'm not worried about that. But the two front tyres, they are completely flat. So I actually have a spare on the front. So I'm just going to swap them both out. I have a couple of old, yes they are very old Steelies with about 10-year-old tyres on. Don't worry, the plan isn't to keep these on for long term. I just want to take it for a drive and see how the car behaves, see if it cuts out, or see if we have any further issues. But yeah, if you are new to the channel, if you are new to this car in particular, this car was the cheapest BMW in the country when I bought it, for just £500, and it had quite a few issues, with regards to I believe it was regards to the fueling of it. Essentially the car would sometimes be hard to start, so it would have a very long crank, and then sometimes it would just cut out intermittently, pretty much. So after around 30 minutes of the engine running, should I say. And yeah, we've swapped out quite a few things, mostly fuel related things. So we've swapped out the fuel filter, the regular interchangeable fuel filter. We've also swapped out the inline pre-supply fuel pump, and then we've also swapped out the in-tank fuel pump as well. So we know all those three components are good, but yeah, I don't really want to go any further. I don't really want to just swap out any other parts blindly. I have done a bunch of tests, as you guys have probably seen in the previous videos, but yeah, I just want to take this thing on the road, fill it up with diesel, and then see where we end up. So yeah, that's the plan anyway. Like I said, let's get the wheels on, let's go around, check the fluids and everything, and then yeah, let's just send it. Let's take this car for a drive. So just quickly then, this is what the front wheels are currently looking like. As you can see, that side is completely flat, no good driving like that. It does hold for a little bit, but yeah, it's just not going to last long enough to take for a good test drive. Whether or not there's a slow puncture in the tyre, or there's a problem with the wheel, is it cracked or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, it's no good as is anyway. And the other side, as you can see, spare wheel on there, but yeah, less than ideal for a decent test drive. So we're just going to put those Steelies on and yeah, see how we get on. Okay then, so we had a slight change in plan. So essentially, I should have known really, essentially those steel wheels, they won't fit over the calipers on the front, so I had to take the wheels from the rear, put them on the fronts, obviously take the fronts off, and then put the steels on the rear. I've inflated them all, they're all now looking good. Don't know if you can tell, but the engine is running. Did have to give it a jump start. Obviously it's been sitting for a good few weeks now. It's actually almost up to temperature, and yeah, I guess the only thing left now is to take this thing for a drive. Okay, so we're in. I guess there really is nothing else to do but wish me luck and let's go. Now the plan is to get a full tank of diesel. We are on around a quarter of a tank, but before I do that, I think I'm just going to take a quick trip to Tesco's and get some fuel treatment, fuel system cleaner. I know it's not going to do anything at all, but I may as well. They're only like a couple of quid, so I may as well put that in with a full tank of diesel, and yeah, then I guess we'll just keep driving around locally. I don't want to go too far, I don't want to go on a motorway or anything, and see when this thing dies out. It's pretty stiff to get it into first gear. This gearbox definitely needs a service. Oh, another thing I noticed as well, brake discs are very rusty, as it has been sitting for a good few months. So I need to be careful with that. That could potentially catch me out. But yeah, let's go and get some fuel cleaner, fuel system cleaner, and then see how we get on. Oh, this feels really weird. I think I can hear the rear brakes dragging actually. That should stop though, hopefully. We're actually up to temperature now as well, by the way. We're up to like bang in the middle. So whether or not our issue is dependent on engine temperature, we'll have to wait and find out. But yeah, let's try and get to Tesco in one piece. No, it's got to be the brakes. It kind of sounds like fuel was whooshing around. I know I do have the back bench up, but I didn't expect it to be that loud. That's got to just be the brakes, right? I'm actually going uphill here, so the car is under a bit of load. I just don't want to speak too soon, especially before we fill this fuel tank up. Well, I think that is very old washer fluid. Brakes actually still work fine though. I've had it before with rusted brakes when it feels like you're driving on ice. They literally just do nothing. Driving into Tesco. We're not driving into the store, we're driving into the car park. And to be honest, I'm surprised we've made it here in one piece. No messing around here, straight into the space. That's another thing as well. The battery may not be properly charged. I do have the jumper pack with me though, so if it doesn't start then I can obviously jump it, but yeah, let's go and get some fuel system cleaner. £5 for this. I swear it used to be like £2 or £3. Maybe that was when it was on offer, but yeah, this stuff better actually work, because that's a lot for such a small amount of liquid. Yeah, I guess now we'll see if the car wants to fire up. Turn everything off electrically wise. That's good. It's a good sign. Fired straight up. Let's go and get some fuel now. Then we can put the fuel system cleaner in at the same time. Tell you what, I love on the older BMWs just how like good everything feels. Like even the indicator stalks, it's like a nice mechanical click. Everything just feels solid. Please don't break down at traffic lights on a hill as well. That would be embarrassing. Yeah, to be honest, that noise in the back, I don't think it is the brakes. I think it's actually just the road noise. But like I said, because the sound deadening's up, because the back bench is up, it's all just sort of echoing through. Desperately need to get that exhaust leak fixed though, that downpipe. It really doesn't smell the best in here. Well, we made it to the fuel station. I guess now put the fuel system cleaner in and fill her up. Okay, the tank is now officially brimmed, and I forgot just how much more diesel was compared to petrol. It's 172.9. that's 23 pence more per litre than petrol. Yeah, I haven't had a diesel for quite a long time now, so I haven't experienced the increase in price yet. Until now, should I say. But yeah, we're full. Let's get the lights on. And let's just continue driving around until I get bored, really, or until this thing dies on me. We're definitely fully up to temp. Just going to put my foot down a little bit, and yeah, like I said, wait and see what happens. Tell you what, this thing is not slow. I wonder if it's been mapped, because it doesn't feel like, I mean, it's 150 horsepower, but it feels like quite a bit more, to be fair. I think it needs to map up to about 200 there or thereabouts. But yeah, it feels good, drives well. Doesn't feel, I mean, it doesn't feel 20 years old, I'll tell you that. It's not technically 20 years old, it's 18, nearly 18 years old. Yeah, it seems to drive well, and if all is well, I am actually contemplating keeping this car for myself, because, you know, I could definitely do with a diesel estate in my life. Now I'm having to, you know, haul a bunch of things around. Yeah, gearbox definitely feels a lot smoother now it's warmed up a little bit. So I think it is just a fluid issue. It's actually pretty quick. I don't know if it's because I'm not used to the diesel torque. You know, I've been, for the most part, just been driving naturally aspirated petrols around, which the cars I've been driving are definitely not slow, the 130i and the 760 Ally, but this feels pretty nippy for what it is, bear in mind. I think I need to head back to base and check the car over, because in total now I've been driving it for about half an hour, and it was, you know, it's been running for the best part of half an hour again before I even drove the thing, and it hasn't wanted to cut out. Even when I've, you know, restarted it, it's fired up straight away. No hesitation, no long cranking that we was having before. So I really don't want to speak too soon, but could we have fixed the issue with this car? It really does seem to be driving fine. And I guess the real test would be on the motorway, or at least on a dual carriageway, but I don't know if I want to go that far, because I really don't want to break down there. Now I'm pretty local, so I could technically just walk home if I needed to, but yeah, you're not going to be walking home from the motorway, are you? It's about to get sweaty. We have tunes as well. Always seems like a luxury in a cheap car, I feel. When the radio works, it's just like, you can't beat it. You do need to set the time though, because we just got a few dashes at the moment. You know what, I'm gonna go on the dual carriageway briefly. It's about, I think it's only about a mile, and then we come to a roundabout, then we sort of head back home. So yeah, I think we need to do it, because if we don't, then ultimately we're not going to know if we fix the issue. So yeah, we're going on a dual carriageway. Funnily enough, the same dual carriageway where the turbo blew on the X5. Let's hope lightning doesn't strike twice in our case. Because there's actually no hard shoulder on this, and yeah, I think I'll just have to ditch it into a hedge if we cut out. Seems to drive absolutely fine at speed. I do definitely want to get some new tyres though. I don't trust old tyres on cars. We'll either get new tyres or new wheels completely, I don't know yet. Obviously it depends how far we want to go with this car. It looks like we're about to be stuck in traffic now. But yeah, just got another couple of miles of driving and then we should be back home. So if all goes well, you'll see me in my driveway. Wish me luck. Okay, so you're not going to believe it. I'm obviously not home. I'm literally 5 minutes from my house, and yeah, we've broke down. I noticed the DDE light was flashing, and then we just sort of lost power. So yeah, I mean it's the DD, that's the glow plug light, so I don't know why that has came on, but I guess I'm going to try and fire the engine back up, but I have a feeling it's just going to do long cranking now. But here goes nothing. What? Let's just get home and then we'll assess what has gone on. Okay, so we're home. Just gonna make sure nothing's fell off the car. Make sure all of the tyres are still okay. Yeah, we're looking good. I don't know what happened back there when we cut out, but I'll explain briefly. So I was at a set of traffic lights. That's annoying. I was at a set of traffic lights, and then I thought I'd floor it because that's what traffic lights are for, right? That's, you know, the start of a race. No, in all seriousness, I thought I'd just floor it because, you know, I want to make sure we don't have any issues at certain revs and whatever else. And then all was good initially, and then that DDE light came on and then started flashing, and we just lost all power. So obviously I had to pull over, and that's when I thought, oh no, the issue's definitely back now. But it didn't seem that way, because before when that happened, before when we stalled, like the engine cut out or whatever, that would then be followed by a long crank, which it wasn't the case. So I don't know why that came on. I guess we need to scan this car for codes, but I'll do that another time, I think. But I mean, I guess we can say that this car is potentially fixed, which I don't know how it's possible, but I don't know. Doesn't seem to be like the problem doesn't seem to be there anymore. Yes, we cut out, but that was after like a good hour of driving and it fired straight up. So I don't think that issue is related to the previous issue, because like I said, when we was getting it before, when it would stall, we would then have a long crank, and you would then also hear the fuel pump. That would also be very, very noisy. And like today, even before like I filled the tank up, the fuel pump was completely silent. So that's like pretty much the reason that I wanted to put this thing on the road anyway, because the fuel pump shut up. So I don't know, maybe originally we had air in the system. That air's now gone. Obviously we've swapped out both fuel pumps, we've swapped out the fuel filter. Maybe we've fixed the issue, I don't know. I guess time will tell, but I'm calling this car fixed for now. You know, the original issue, of course, we have a bunch of work to come on this, but hopefully it's good news. Hopefully you guys are excited to see more videos, and yeah, this thing is now officially on the road. So I think the plan is, like I said, get all the bits, you know, fixed on the car that I want to do, give it a good clean up, and then really decide what I want to do with it. I may fall in love with it and decide I want to keep it myself, because like I said, I could do with a diesel estate, or I may just trade it up and move on to the next car. But yeah, like I said, hopefully you guys are excited to see what is coming with this car, and if you have any thoughts, any suggestions, please do not hesitate to leave them down below. But yeah, I am going to wrap this video up anyway. Hopefully you all have enjoyed it. Please give it a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you have not already done so, and we'll see you all in the next one.